Hi there, it is Anthony, and I am bringing you a big update here in April. There was no update in March just due to spring break, and I was traveling. So there's lots to go over today. I even made some notes here. So we're going to talk about re-enrollment for the next school year, the grad ceremony for grade 12s, my grad events, which are canceled, um, accessing your transcript and finding out what you guys are scoring on the numeracy assessment, the literacy assessment, the Student Support Center, and then a quick thank you about the COVID-19, all the phone calls I made, and then we need to talk about June. So to get started, if you guys log into NCOM, here's a screenshot that I have of someone's thing. So this is hugely for parents. So parents, hopefully watch the first 30 seconds here. There's two things that I really need for parents to be doing. And I've been doing a better job at when a student enters Heritage, I've been showing them this. So you may have had this happen with me, but many of you had not because you got enrolled earlier. So if you log in to a student's into the parents NCOM accounts, this is the parent NCOM, you are able to re-enroll, and you're also able to check your students' online course progress. If you have multiple students or multiple children that are in high school, some of you do, then you're able to see them all listed here. So I just blanked out the name. I'm not sharing any privacy here. But there's a re-enrollment button and an online course progress button. And I want to walk you guys through both of those. So when you click the re-enrollment button, there will be either 2 or 3 buttons. Every parent needs to do this. You need to either tell us that you're going to be enrolling your child, that you're not enrolling. If you're not enrolling, that's totally fine. If you already know what school you're planning on going to next year, you can let me know. Maybe online school isn't working. We're going to send them back to the campus school. It's going to be, whatever it is. And not all of you will have a third button, but some of you will have a third button if you are graduating. So even if you're in grade 12 and you're like, oh, I don't need to re-enroll because I'm done. No, you actually do need to re-enroll and need to choose this graduating button. And that lets us know, okay, the student is getting there, and we can do that. So I'm going to close this back down. So that's the re-enrollment button. Now I'm going to show you the online course progress. And this is something that parents should be checking in on every once in a while. Maybe not every week, but at least every month. And I'd probably say the ideal amount would be every 2 weeks. So if we go, this is what a progress report looks. Oh, of course, my head's too big here. Okay, so this is what a progress report looks like. And if you take a look, you're going to see all the courses that they're enrolled in. And then you're going to see their current mark. So this student, way to go, straight A's, pretty much. But then it shows their current progress and the expected end dates and late activities. So this student is doing really well. They've just fallen behind. And so as a parent, it's really, really awesome if you're able to go into the Moodle course progress and find this out. Now, not all courses have a Moodle. So if you're in a purely individualized course, you won't have this. But any online or hybrid course that uses a Moodle and uses a pacing guide, you'll be able to set this up. Now, you might have a ton of late activities. You're like, what? I'm not way behind. It might just be because you set up the pacing guide wrong. So you can take a look at that. But it's definitely an important thing for parents to come in and take a look. You can check it on your kids, see if they are handing in their assignments and they aren't. And you can click on the late activities and you can actually get a detailed report of what they're missing. So that's kind of the re-enrollment. Now, if you are wanting to add courses for the upcoming school year, that is awesome. I cannot do that until after May 2nd. And I've talked to many of you guys over the phone. Many of you guys have already told me that you want to talk to me after May 2nd to add courses. But I'm going to be putting all the links to this in the email to you guys. But here is a website that I really, really want you guys to have bookmarked, courses.onlineschool.ca. This is where you're able to plan out all of your courses. So you guys are in either grade 10, 11, or 12. So you can be looking at the grade 11 and 12 courses that are coming up for you next year. And, if you search through, grade 11, you can search, okay, what kind of, English options are there? And you can find out what type of course they are, hybrid, synchronous, online, and all that type of stuff. Community connection. Oh yeah, there's a community connection in Abbotsford. So anyway, that's a way that you can just surf through courses and it'll be great. So I can add those, like I said, after May 2nd. All right. So the grad ceremony, if you guys didn't receive the email communication from Chelsea, it's being moved. So the grad ceremony is now rescheduled for July 3rd. And we're really hoping that that date holds. You can definitely still confirm. I think we have, I think you have until May 22nd to fill out the form that you are coming. So if you go to the resources tab, graduation ceremonies, you're able to fill out this little link up until May 22nd. So it'd be great to know if you do plan to attend. Now, due to this whole COVID thing, which I'll be talking about a little bit more in a couple minutes, but my grad events are canceled. So I am really bummed because I was able to, if you come over to the interior section here, which is our page, I've had 3 events so far, but I had one planned in Cranbrook coming up in May, and I have to cancel that. And I also had a June UBCO tour, and that is also going to be canceled. So unfortunately, I feel really bad, but the rest of the grad events for this year are canceled, and maybe I'll try to host like a Zoom meeting or something, but it's just not the same. And yeah, I was really looking forward to making my way out there. Because I did plan the entire event, we'll see what next year brings. So yeah, bit of a bummer there. So those of you who are wondering about the numeracy and literacy assessments, that's up next. So if you wrote the numeracy and literacy assessment this year, that's awesome. The ones for the rest of the school year are canceled, and you can find out more information on the grad program page on the home page. Chelsea's written up a big thing here, so those aren't available. But if you did write your assessment in January, you are able to access it. And I wanted to help this with families because lots of families have been asking me, hey, what does my transcript look like? What courses are on my transcript? What do I need to graduate? And you're actually able to check what your transcript is currently up to date and looks like. So if you go to this website, which is going to be a link in my email, I want you to go and check out the BCE ID. You have to click on current student. And if you click on that, what you're going to need is your personal education number. Now, if you already know your personal education number, it's on report cards, but it's also an NCOM. And you can ask me, and then you need your email address and everything else. Then you set up a BCE ID and you're able to access your transcript, which is really awesome. So this is where everything happens. Once you graduate, you're able to use your BCE ID to order your transcript, and you can actually have your transcript paper copy. But to check in over the course of the year, this is such a useful tool. And if you have it set up, it's great. So when you're looking at a transcript, here's a grade 10 transcript. I've blotted out the name. But you can see there's only a couple courses. They already wrote their numeracy assessment. They've already completed PE, Christian Studies, and Career Life in first semester. So boom, it's already set up there, which is great. Now, at the bottom, it's going to show reasons for non-graduating. And there's going to be, all these different things, all the different reasons why you didn't graduate. Now, to be fair, let's look at this is a grade 12 student. So they are almost done. All they need is their language arts 12, a math 11 or 12, and grade 12 credits. So they're working on these courses. They already have 2 grade 12 courses. They're working on English 12, so they only need one other grade 12 course, and they're working on math right now as well. So this student is almost completed. Now, grade 12 students didn't need to write the literacy or numeracy assessment, so they have it met and exempt. So they actually skipped that on this. So they didn't need to do them. So that's what a more robust transcript is going to look like if you're looking, in your grade 12 year. So that is that. BCE ideas are awesome. Next up, well, I might actually even skip over the Student Support Center and come back to that and start off by thanking you. So I had to make, yes, so many phone calls. I ended up making, I think, somewhere between 120, 130 phone calls, letting you guys know about your enrollments for activating. Some of you guys I didn't need to call, so if you were like waiting for a phone call from me and you didn't get one. That was because all of your courses were activated. So I actually didn't end up needing to call you, but I called everyone asking about their course enrollment. I was removing courses if you weren't starting them and if you weren't working on them. And I sent you guys to go and activate courses. So thank you so much for working hard, getting that done. I know it was tough for everyone. I was up so late, and I am still behind on. I'm like a day or two behind on emails. I'm like a week behind on my marking because I literally just dedicated that. There was like 4 days. It was just dedicated to phoning you guys, emailing you guys, and yeah, thanks so much. So if you've made it to this far into the video and you realize, oh my goodness, like I need to update my email, I need to update my phone number, I've got a new cell phone number, please send that to me so I can update it in Incom, because there was a lot of phone calls where I was, talking to someone. I'm like, hey, are you this person? They're like, no, I got this phone number like 6 months ago. I'm like, okay, this is the wrong phone number. If I don't have your correct information on hand, please send it to me. So that's just a big thank you to everyone. And obviously, this is kind of extenuating circumstances. Yeah, just crazy that what we had to do. Normally, we never have to do that. So we're grateful the ministry is still giving us funding. That's awesome. But yeah, it's crazy. And right now, we basically have a stop on enrollment. So if you're like telling your friends, hey, your school isn't working, but ours still is, we're actually basically closed, and the ministry has shut down funding so that families aren't switching, doing a panic switch at the end of the school year from one school to the other. So anyway, you can ask me more about that later, but that's basically that. Now I want to quickly talk about the Student Support Center, because having talked to many of you guys in family checkups, I was like, sometimes you guys were activating all your courses, but oftentimes it's like, hey, how are your courses going? And there was a lot of, yeah, it's okay, and lots of, oh, I'm struggling in this course. So I did want to bring up the Student Support Center again. I've mentioned this before in videos, but I really, 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 really recommend almost everyone to book at least one session just to talk to someone about something. So I'm going to go to the Student Support Center here, and I literally actually talked to Deanna today on Zoom. I actually met with her, and I said, hey, I'm doing my Grad Advising update today. What are the types of things that you can help them with? So she can help you schedule your week. She can help you, set up a timetable if you're just like struggling with the actual, time allotment of getting your courses done. But she also will read over essays. If you're working on, Christian studies, social studies, English, these all have a lot of writing in them, and she'll look over essays to give you feedback. She's an awesome teacher and a fantastic help. If you are on the opposite sense, if you're like, oh, I'm a great writer, but I just like am terrible with numbers, then you can talk to G1, and he has hours set up, and he can help with any math course. G1 is absolutely fantastic. He has been working in the math program, I think. So many of you guys don't know this about me, but I have actually been working in the online school. So if you're in one of my courses, I have markers. I marked for the online school for 5 years. Then I became a teacher, and now I've been working here for 5 years. So I've actually been working for the online school for 10 years now. And I want to say G1 is like really close to me. Like he might have been here like 8 or 9 years, but he's been helping out students for a long time. And he's familiar with everything from, pre-calculus 12 and calculus 12 down to, math 7. So he is passionate about math. He is doing his PhD right now and is still working for us, and we love him. So all you have to do is click on their Calendly links, and it'll take you to the spot where you can actually book a session, and you can do the same thing with Deanna. So I really recommend doing this if you're trying to get, if you're like struggling and you're, in the C range and you want to get a B, or if you're in the A range and you want to get an A plus, these guys definitely can help. So that is basically it for those big types of things, and we're finishing off with June. Today it is April 9th. We are going into Easter weekend, and I find that after Easter weekend, it's just like so fast as we move towards June. And for many of you, if you are a little bit behind, try to catch up as best you can. The online school still runs throughout the summer, but that's mostly for our online courses. So not all individualized courses are going to be working through July and August. All online courses do, so that is the good news. So if you're enrolled in any online courses and you're not quite finished them, you can take them into July and August. So you might need to prioritize some of your individualized courses to make sure that those get finished. But yeah, I wanted to let you know about that. You really do need to be pacing yourselves, and this is the time to catch up if you are behind. And if June's approaching and you're like, oh, you know what, Mr. Kushma, I'm actually doing great. Now you can start planning for your upcoming school year, going into either grade 11 or grade 12. If you are finding like, oh my goodness, I'm actually not going to complete all my courses that I need to graduate this year, I'm going to need to take more, you're also able to spread out high school into 4 years. So you can have grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, and then grade 12 again. That is totally an option, and we definitely help facilitate students graduating no matter where they're at. So that's basically it for today. Hopefully you guys can come take a look on the grad program page, do some reading through here for the news, set up your BCE ID. You can take a look at the course library for courses coming up in your grade 12 or grade 11 year. And if you have questions, you can always shoot me an email. You guys should all have my phone number now because I called you all in this past week. So if you also want to get a hold of me and chat with me, I tend to work from the 9 to 5 weekly. That's sort of the thing. With this whole COVID thing, I am now working from home, and it's a lot harder. What I've found is, I wonder if I can move this. Let's see. Yeah, I can. I'll put myself in the center. So what I've found is that with COVID, it's hard for me to get work done. So I'm sure that some of you parents who have made it to this far are realizing like it is harder being at home trying to get work done. But there's support out there and you can do it. So this is all I want to say. I don't want to keep this any longer, but best of luck as you guys come to the end of the school year. We've got May and June left. That's it. And it'll be exciting to reach the finish line and finish this year off. Thanks. Have a great day.